Hey guys, so I'm working my way through the adaptive character bots on chess.com, and we are up to Nisha now, who's rated apparently 900. So the thing about the adaptive bots is that the better you play, the better they play. So I would say if you're a kind of player that suffers from this problem where when you get an advantage over your opponent that you tend to neglect your own defense, these adaptive bots could be really, really good for you. So full disclosure, I've actually just played Nisha and I was completely wiping the floor with her. And I did exactly that. I just was paying no attention to defense. I was just thinking how I was going to finish her off, and a queen came in, bang, 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 bang. My king was chased all around the board and then finally checkmated. So there you go. 900 rated bot, and I lost. So let's go. Let's take on Nisha. She's started with the white pieces, and we've got e4. I'll play e5 and see what she does. Okay, knight out. Let's play knight c6 and bishop out. So a kind of fried liver approach. I'm inclined to invite the fried liver and maybe try something cunning. Okay, now I was thinking about the track slut counter-attack, but that is no longer on the cards. However, this knight is still a threat. Knight could still come in, so maybe just push h6 and prevent the knight from coming to that square. Okay, now queen e2. This is all fairly normal so far. I'm going to bring my bishop out to c5. And she's moved her king. Nisha, why have you moved your king? Alright, let's just push d6 to liberate this bishop. And now she's swapped a knight for a pawn. Well, what do we say about that? I think I'm going to recapture with the pawn right now. Keep this square for my knight because it's a lovely square to put that knight on. Okay, so now we are up. And when this happens, you have to solidify your position. So I'm going to allow an exchange of bishops and recapture with a pawn because I'm going to castle my king over this side of the board. All right, let's retreat the bishop here where it's defending this pawn that was previously undefended. Okay, now this b4 move. Now I don't think the king can't castle anymore because she's moved him. Let's put my queen here. I'm going to castle here, put my rook straight onto this semi-open file. Of course not yet because she's trying to attack my knight. Come back to c6. Okay, lots of pawn moves. Always remember, watch your back with the bots. This is okay. I've got a couple of options. I've got a knight here, but then it's kind of trapped by that pawn. Knight here. Can't really be hassled by a pawn, but it's not the ideal square. I'm going to put it there. If this pawn moves, I can defend my knight with the pawn at least. Okay, what's undefended on her side of the board? Just that, really. Okay, so let's move the queen and maybe go after this pawn. See? This is what I'm saying. You've got to watch your back. Okay, there's only one move there, and I think my knight falls, eh? Yep. Okay. See, I just wasn't checking. I was looking, did you see? I was looking at what was undefended on my opponent's side of the board, and I neglected my own position. So, we are now 2 pawns down in this position. Okay. Time to get serious. Okay. Do I have to be concerned about this exchange? I don't really fancy pushing my pawn. A queen could just take it anyway, so... I think what I want to do is actually maybe get my king safer. No, let's not bother. Come on, Nisha, let's going to take you down now. Okay, capture the queen. Always defend. King to here now, attacks the queen again. Queen can come there with check, or the bishop can. Okay. Oh wow, and now there's two attackers on there. You see. Okay, now I've regained the material and it's game on. So I have an extra bishop. Nisha has 3 extra pawns. Okay. So I'll put my bishop here. This rook currently can't move. She can play knight there now. Okay, let's grab the rook. I'm not messing around now. And let's grab the knight. So, and twice she's failed to recapture. Okay, save the bishop. Okay, now this pawn advance is maybe a threat, so I'm going to put my king in the way there. This is a passed pawn because there's no pawns on my side of the board that can worry it. Okay, now I want to improve my knight. Where does my knight need to go? Let's go after this pawn first. Undefended pawn. Capture a pawn. See, it's such a weird combination of very aggressive play, and then suddenly I'm going to put both rooks on the 7th rank from my perspective, and we're getting fairly close to a checkmate. I feel like I might need to take Nisha on again. Okay, I think I'm gonna go there and force an exchange of rooks because I've got the bishops defending that square as well. Okay, now she's got 1 pawn advance, but the king does actually have this entire file. So how do we just complete the job? I'm going to put my knight there, push pawn. If she takes, I take, and now this pawn is completely unopposed. The king is just totally trapped now in these squares, and now it should be just a formality to promote a pawn. Of course, making sure that we don't stalemate, but then if I just get a rook and put it on a1, then we should have no problem. So wherever that king is, doesn't matter. Going to get a rook, and now checkmate. Okay, right, Nisha, we're going to go again. We're going to go again. Okay, new game. Okay, so we'll do that again. Random play. Okay. So 2 games. Let's go Danish Gambit. Do you fall for it? Okay, we have the full Danish on the board. Okay, queen now to b3, so I've got 2 pieces looking at the sensitive f7 square. She's missed that, and now my defended bishop has gone in, forced the king to move. Okay, the queen is looking at this pawn that is undefended right now. Best way to defend that, how about queen to here? That looks solid. And now the queen is looking at this bishop. Alright, well, let's do something about that. Let's block it with this bishop. Okay, so technically she's still actually a pawn up. Break the check with that, and she's blundered her queen. Okay, I'm way up in material now. All I'm going to do is simplify. I'm not messing around now. Can't go after the rook. Let's move my knight. Should be able to castle my king. I don't think it's moved. Okay, castle the king. Throw in a check. That's all right. Almost trapped my queen there. You've got to be careful. Got to be super careful. Okay, that's attacking the queen. I have this square. Swap off material. Always happy to swap off material. Let's attack the bishop. So it means now my queen can go here. Let's have the bishop. So now I'm up a queen basically for a knight. Throw in a check. Alright. This is looking good now. Rook c1, so I'm looking at this pawn. Attacks my queen, but I can come here with check. This pawn is now undefended. Take the pawn with check. And come here with check. Okay, the king's moved away from the defense of this pawn, so let's go after the knight first. Push f4. Getting pieces around that king. Okay, now if I play check here, can't go there, so the king has to go to one of these squares. I think that looks... In fact, no, let's take the squares away by capturing the pawn. And now if I push there, the king only has that one square. And then I can come here. No, I can't, because the knight's guarding that square. Okay. Okay, so I go there, king has to go here, and I grab the knight. Queen and rook are defending each other. Let's just grab that pawn, can't I? Is that mate there? Ah, no, I've blundered my rook. See what she's making me do? She's making me rush. Are you a player who rushes? If so, try the adaptive bots. It's a great lesson in not rushing. There's another check. Rook here, then I'm threatening to capture there with the queen. Alright. Taking would just lose a rook. So I'm going to get both my pawns up here and try and win a rook with by promoting a pawn. Let's attack the rook, and she's dropped a rook. All right, and that's check. No reason to rush, hunty. She can't make me on the back rank. Okay, and this pins the rook on the king. There's nothing for it other than that. Now I can't checkmate the king with only a queen, so I'm going to need some help. Let's check there and make it a formality. Put the queen back on here. This pawn can now come up unopposed all the way to Oz. Okay, the king's not stalemated. Just carry on with this. Okay, the king's got plenty of places to go to. Go there now, okay, and then here, and then here, and then here. There we go. Right, go on then. Best of 3. Let's do it again. Interesting bot this, actually. Very interesting bot. Okay, let's try something else. The Danish was good fun. I'm going to play the King's Gambit. I don't play the King's Gambit, but what the hey. Alright. Now what do we do here? The Falkbeer counter gambit. I've not looked at this in an awful long time. Okay. So this is like the Albin counter gambit in reverse. Kind of tempted to put my queen there, but that's kind of unprincipled. I'm going to do it. It means I can push this pawn. Push the pawn right into the centre. Can't capture en passant because... Okay, let's swap off there. Knight is safe here because the only attacker is pinned. Defend the knight. Okay, and now this is no longer pinned, but I can capture with my knight. Can I? I capture with a knight. Knight takes. The only way to recapture is queen takes. Then I've got king takes, so I can grab that pawn safely if I wish. But let's just push my knight into her territory. Oh, I dropped a pawn. Curses. Okay, how about then castles? Prepare a discovery. Okay. Can't really do anything evil with my bishop right now. So how's the material? Material is equal. Both kings are castled, opposite side castling. What do we do when we've got opposite side castling? We do a pawn storm. That's fine. Bishop's now looking towards the king. Do you want my bishop? You're going to have to come and get it. That pawn's undefended. And my queen is under attack. So let's defend the pawn and move the queen. Makes sense to me. Now she's attacking my knight. Okay, if I grab this bishop, the only defender is this knight, and knight also happens to be the only defender of that pawn. So there you go. Grab the pawn, attack the queen. I wish I could get rid of that knight, because my knight would love to go there and wins the queen. But we can't do this. Also, my knight is a little bit short of squares. I think a5 might be the only safe haven right now. Can I get rid of that guy? How about attacking that rook? Then let's say knight takes. I take. Queen might just take. Doesn't really help. Okay, retreat the knight. I can also grab this pawn. Now it's defended again. Retreat the knight again. So I'm slightly in front right now. And when you get in front with the adaptive bots, you have to watch your back. Okay. I do have a discovery with a rook on this knight. The knight's not defended right now. So that's an idea. I'd like to mess up something. So what do we do? I think it's just pushing pawns right now. Actually, there's two attackers on this pawn, aren't there? See, counting attackers and defenders. Very, very important. I'd like to keep my bishop, I think. So let's just defend the pawn. Defend that pawn. Oh, two attackers now on this pawn. See? She's a tricky customer, this one, you know. No, two attackers, but still the queen and the king are defending, so that's alright. Okay, there we go. It's worth figuring these things out sometimes. Okay. Knights are defending each other at this point. So, with moving the rook there, what does my opponent want? I think my opponent wants to push the e-pawn through. But I have two defenders, so I can grab the pawn with the bishop. Let's put the other rook. Put this rook. Let's kick this knight away. Knight can't go anywhere scary. Has to retreat. There you go. This knight's now undefended. And so is this pawn. But I can't grab the pawn with the bishop because the knight that I'm attacking then recaptures. So, what does that mean? Can't go there. For the same reason. Just push some pawns up. Am I worried about this pawn coming down? No, I'm not. I've got 3 pieces on e3, so... I can even go after this pawn. I think that's okay. So now I can simply take there, win a pawn. Let's exchange rooks. And I still, again, I can't grab that pawn. Let's put a second attacker on that pawn. See, I'm starting to hover now, and that's a good sign. It's the right thing to do. Check. Knight will take. Oh, missed that one. Missed that one. See? But you've now lost your queen, so... Okay, I'm just going to hit the rook now. This is alright. Push pawns. Should now be a straightforward finish. However, I've said that before and come unstuck. Put my queen here and attack this knight. Put my rook here and attack 2 knights. Or let's just move this pawn first. No reason to give up a pawn. No reason to give up a knight either, actually, Nisha. What you doing? What you doing, you Wally? Okay. So, good lesson in slowing the heck down. When you're winning, one of the hardest things to do is to win. Sometimes. Okay, I can move my rook up. My king has an escape square on c2. Now I win the knight. So she does seem somewhat vulnerable to some basic tactics. Okay, I'm going to move my queen back here, just defending this square. So now I'm being very, very sensible and cautious. Rook on the 7th rank. Always put your rook on the 7th rank. Okay, king c2 now defends all 3 of these squares from that horrible rook. Now what are you doing? Okay, I'm going to attack the rook here. And if the rook moves, I'm going to try and go to the back rank. Okay, she spotted that one. Let's come here then. King is now safe from the rook. That's the good thing. Check. Rook must take. Queen takes. Queen defends the pawn. And you know the rest. Billy the B pawn comes dancing up the board. Okay, let's just capture there. And now this is Operation Don't Get Stalemated Like an Idiot. So if in doubt, throw in a check. Okay, if I go here, get a queen, where's he got? That would be stalemate, wouldn't it? Alright, queen on here means he can't go on the back rank. Queen here means he can't go there, or there, and the pawn's stopping him from going there. So, and he can't go there because that pawn's got it. So, that would be stalemate, and we don't want that, do we? So you have to put in a waiting move. Now we can do that and get the queen, and now, ooh, what's the best way? Is that mate? It is mate. Okay, there we go. Well, there you go. So what have we learned from playing Nisha? First time I've done 3 games on the trot against the bot. Tricky one. But if you're somebody who has the habit of rushing your moves sometimes, definitely a good one to play. If you're somebody who finds it difficult or challenging to convert a winning position, again, Nisha I think would be very interesting to try out. So, and I kind of like the fact that the bot adapts to your play to some degree as well. So, yeah, definitely recommended. an interesting one to, I mean, some of the bots are just dumb. Some of the bots, well, I mean, you know, she did throw in some blunders. Are you somebody who needs practice spotting blunders? Maybe that's you as well, in which case Nisha's your girl. So there you go. Thank you for watching. I'm going to carry on and try and beat some more adaptive bots if I can. Please subscribe to Chess Bootcamp if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you soon.